All right.
Hype la hype!
Yes, Hype La Hype and Grill La Hill. Well, I guess there's nothing else to say other than just do it. This is a retrospective of Kill la Kill since it ended last week. I guess we'll start with the first thing is to get those butthurt people out of here now. It's awesome, and if you don't think it's awesome because of fan service or whatever, you people clearly don't know good stories.
In the words of CR, it's more than just the tits.
Yes, and anyone who seems to think otherwise did not
Get past like
watch that
episode 3, I think.
Yeah.
The second you hit episode 3, everything in the show is justified. You understand why they're doing it. They have
It is
reasons
around
for
there,
it,
yeah.
It's well executed, and it makes sense. Everything has meaning.
Like, yeah, like literally fan service is the plot.
It is the plot.
And
Like,
it's not a shoestring reason either.
Like, it is necessary. You want to say
man,
something?
that brings a whole new perspective to the plot and economics.
It's
The
like
plot is the plot.
it's like if you
Whoa.
oh my god. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that if you said you didn't watch it because of the fan service, you need to shut
You
up.
need to grow up.
Open your eyes.
No, it really is that they need to grow up.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is going to be a lot of bashing in this video if you couldn't tell, because we've seen a lot, and I mean a lot of people who will just say, I'm not going to watch the show for stupid reasons, and this is the most common one. And if really fan service turns you off that much that you can't even appreciate a really good story, you need to grow up.
Especially
It's really what it is. Like, because by the end, spoilers, when you see literally everyone is naked and these people falling naked from the sky, and you don't even realize how naked they are because you are caught up in everything that's going on at this point, you know they're doing something right.
And not just everyone relevant. We mean
Every single person on the
Earth.
planet.
And you know what? It's incredibly poetic and poignant
It is.
because the whole entire series focuses around one thing: not hiding yourself. This story is a very, like I've said it before in other videos, it's an incredibly feminist story. Like, immensely. I am amazed with how much raging feminism is going on in
It
this.
is extremely.
It's like, the
They're
whole,
the strongest.
what's
Deal
one-
with it.
It's like, what's one thing that defines women the most? How they look. Our clothes define us. Our makeup defines us. All of that. This whole entire series is about shedding your clothing and showing what is really you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. That's why they're naked. That's why they show so much skin. Because it is. Show yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't lose your way.
And she is right about that. It is what the story is at the end. Because, in fact, Mako and Mikisugi both mention how the more skin they reveal is a symbol of the fact that because they are not caring so much about their own, image, are caring more about needing to do what needs to be done, the more power exudes from the clothing, and the form of the clothing depicts that.
Also, another thing I noticed throughout watching the series, it also is how much does other people control you? How much do you actually have control over yourself? How much do you believe in yourself? Because if you notice, usually the way it goes with villains, or at least female villains, the more evil you are, the less clothing you have. In this series, it's the complete opposite. The final form of the boss
Is completely
shrouded
covered in clothing.
Her head is covered, her arms are covered, you can't even see her feet.
You can only see her face, really.
Yeah, but it's the opposite.
Meanwhile,
of this.
at protagonist,
I'm telling you
Less
this,
and less
less
clothing.
and less as it goes on.
If you look at the Elite Four, their first outfits, you can't even see their faces most of the time.
Yeah, half of them are like covered up completely.
Their final forms, freaking one of them only has a
Nothing at
heart
all.
covering her crotch.
One of them barely has anything covering them.
Yeah, almost all of their skin is exposed. That's what it is. It's revealing yourself, believing in yourself, and having
Yeah,
power
not
in
needing
yourself.
to hide behind anything to show how good you are. You don't have to hide behind, a fancy weapon or fancy clothing or fancy titles. You just need to show your own worth.
Unfortunately, even after all their power-ups, the Elite Four were inconsequential.
Hey, Gamagori did something very important.
Okay, yeah. But
Don't you diss my Gamagori.
He did something
ultimately, they were so strong, but not strong enough to, you know...
compete with a leading...
You will never have concussion face blasts come out of your chest.
I know. I know.
But that being said, yes, they aren't as strong as the leading ladies.
Which is another thing about the series. The 5 strongest characters in the show are all arguably women. Sasuke,
Ryuko, Satsuki, Ragyo,
Nui, and then Nui tied with Gamagori, the only man on this list.
Yeah, it's a shame, because Sanagayama is like the coolest fucking dude, and he never gets to do anything. His job is to job.
Yeah, other tech guy, right? Tech guy. And and the tech guy, what did he do, really? He was there.
Intel.
He was Iori's best friend.
I feel
Yes.
it's true. That's true.
They formed a friendship that was not shown a lot, but you knew it was there.
It gradually increased as it went.
Like, he wasn't a fighter to begin with. He knew that.
He even forfeit a fight.
It's just weird thinking about that's the only reason he had a uniform.
Like, at the time, antagonist... Nope, I'm done.
No, I'm done. I got what I needed.
Surrender. I'm gonna go sit in the stands with my track uniform, and Gamagori's gonna yell at me for not being naked. Like, all of these characters are also so well developed. Even the side characters, you knew about. There was very few characters that did not get development.
Impressive. A dog that's polite enough to bow.
Yeah, even the dog has
Or announce his
character
name.
development.
Yeah, to announce himself.
Motherfucking guts. Unfortunately, he didn't get his time in the spotlight like Buta.
Nope.
What can you
What
do?
do you do? He at least did things.
Earth dog.
Yeah, he's just an earth
What do
dog.
you want?
But he still did things, which is impressive enough.
He was the messenger?
Messenger, he was apparently supported at certain points. He dragged Senketsu to the school in that one episode when everyone else got hit by cars.
Delivery man.
Yeah, for a dog, he did a pretty good job.
It's true.
I mean, and then-
Meanwhile, what did Mataro ever do? Fucking nothing. Mako's little brother.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
He
Did form a
didn't.
friendship with Nano.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he did do the right thing of ditching his clothes, and therefore had the opportunity to try to do something while the world got taken over.
He also tried to deliver the clothes.
He did so many things accidentally.
Yeah. But at the end, even that whole family did something by being an assistant in the medical group. Yeah, they all became medics.
Yeah, so he at least did that.
And we will be getting to
From
the story,
back-
by the way.
From back alley to army.
Yeah, to
It's kind of a
Red
big
Cross,
jump.
but not. It's like nudist cross, I guess.
I love how he wore an inner tube.
Yep.
It's okay. Little kid penis is fine to show on Japanese TV.
It is true. I don't know why it is. I guess it's just because it's not, as big. Therefore, not as lewd.
I'm pretty sure none of us could handle Gamagori's penis since he has one standard size, bigger than you.
This reminds me of that picture I got from somebody. Gagori looking at Mako, and then a picture underneath it, Gerbil trying to eat a banana.
The faces they had while just staring at each other, they were just like, are we gonna do this?
Man, so much fan art.
Oh yeah, this
For good
show
reason.
has generated it's the wrong one. Hold on,
There's a
keep
reason
going.
why on A there is at least 4 threads a day, even today after the
Yeah,
show
because
has
as you can
ended.
see, there is just fan art and screenshots everywhere.
And we don't even have a quarter of it on hand.
It's true, and I'm even still going, as you can tell. Yeah, there's a lot of no-known ones. People really liked her. In America, anyway. If I recall, people really did not like her in Japan.
She was sad.
Something equivalent of Valley Girl accent.
Yeah, I can see that. It was a pretty grating voice.
But the Americas really liked her voice. Except for her, I bet. Anyway. Yeah. It's kind of weird how even the show works in different cultures differently. Like characters work different ways. Characters that are hated in one language are liked in other languages. And that's really evident here because everyone is so different because they're from different parts of the country.
Yep.
It really also gives you a good idea of like just how different those places are for a country that's about the size of California.
Zenny guy, man.
That guy is like best character.
Oh my god, Zenny guy is my favorite side.
He's like the best side character there is.
Oh
Oh my god, this is fun.
His exit is like the best one in the show. Saluting masculinely to everyone as they go on to the battle, knowing that he is helped by providing them funds.
Oh man, like even all the side characters that for all intents and purposes didn't really do
Anything at all.
showed up again just to appease.
Even Maki.
You can find her if you...
If you look
Slowly
really,
frame clip.
if you frame clip and look closely, you'll see her everywhere. If you don't remember who she is, she's the one who tried to steal the uniform.
She wore a paper bag on her head.
Wasn't she Nui?
What?
Oh god,
What are you talking about?
I don't even know anymore.
No, that was the newspaper guy.
Newspaper guy. Right.
Who came to try and cheer Ryuko up, and then
Yeah.
you find out it was Nui, and you're just like, Ruse!
Yeah, oh, new character? No, just kidding.
I just love it.
You're gonna like the characters you're gonna take the characters we gave you and you're gonna like it.
I just love the one thing that some people did was they redrew the shots of the of when the newspaper guy was leading Ryuko around, and they drew Nui in. So it was Nui like running while holding her hand with this extreme face. I'm just like, ah!
Oh man, yeah. All these good times. So I think we should actually start.
I guess we should start the episodes now. Like just recap like the things that happened in the episodes.
You
We're not gonna go episode by episode because well we have to have recently rewatched them and we've only done that like a couple days ago.
Do we wait? Do we have the list of the excited guys?
You know what? I do.
Because that would be a good episode, guys.
You guys can keep talking while I find it.
They maintained that image for a reason.
Yeah.
The first 9 episodes or so kind of ran together because it was all set up.
There he is.
Anyway,
Yeah, so I guess we'll start. I guess we can do it. We'll just vaguely do it, starting with. I get up there. Episode 1, as you can see with the lemons in their mouths.
Yeah, introductions.
we should probably actually explain what the show is about for people who don't know.
Yeah, it was only 13 episodes, 30 minutes in. We should probably do that.
Girl's coming of age story where you bleed a lot and clothes are the devil.
So basically,
Yeah,
puberty.
that sounds like puberty.
So basically, puberty for women, as opposed to Gurren Lagann's puberty and Fully Cooley's puberty for men.
Which I appreciate.
Continue.
Starts off with we introduced to the world in
We have our
the
Monkan Shoku family and we have Ryuko just showing up. We know her purpose right from the get-go.
looking for the man who killed her father.
Yep.
Spoilers, it wasn't a man. We don't find that out for like 8 more episodes.
Yeah, well, especially because she suspected it was Sasuke from the beginning,
Yeah.
so we already knew it wasn't a man. Like spoilers, if you have never watched episode 1 before, she immediately assumes it's a woman.
Also, our world is very interesting in this story. Society is run by schools that have superpowered uniforms, and death is a commonplace there.
Or at the very least, the majority of it is. But that's for later on. Anyway.
Yeah, Satsuki built this school for reasons
That we'll
that are
explain
not
later.
divulged immediately, because where would the plot be?
Yeah. So Yuko enrolls in this school.
Eating
Eating lemons
lemons
on the way gets her lemons stolen.
by a little
By
kid.
a little kid named Matsuru who thought he stole her wallet.
Well, joke's on him.
And then he's
And
like,
then
I got a gang,
it's
it's gonna kill you.
wrecked.
Yep, then he tries to sneak attack her with his friends. Then they all just get their asses kicked. And then they get their asses kicked again when Mako comes and, like, dive bombs him in the neck.
I just love that when they're forgiving, they're like, sorry, taking out people weaker than us is our specialty.
They know their strengths.
Well, yeah, so that's where we get our immediate best friend.
Yeah, and I mean immediate. Like, she forces herself on Ryuko about as bad as Kiri does on Gao.
She's
Except
ambiguously bisexual.
I'm not even sure about that. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, Mako. And, well, Mako's Mako. She's kind of hyper and ditzy and...
See, but to the extreme. Like, yeah, she does that a lot. She's definitely a character you either like or you hate.
I've never seen any sort of middle ground when it comes to her.
Yeah, it's like you either like her because of how crazy she is and how willing she is to put herself in danger intentionally.
Completely overblown.
Like, think of any of those, like, those female friends to female main characters, like from Project Eiko or what have you.
Cardcaptor Sakura.
Sakura, not so much, because she's not really all that crazy. And it's basically like that, but amplified even more. In fact, the first couple episodes, I was thinking, this is strangely reminding me of Project Eiko, only with a slightly different premise. That changed quickly, but that's a different story altogether. So, it goes through the things that everyone goes out to the courtyard to, I guess, honor Satsuki, because what else are they going to do?
That's how it works around there.
She is their queen.
Not like they're there to learn or anything.
Even the teachers say that. They're like, we're just here because we have to be.
Yep.
Mako is a pretty good foil to Ryuko throughout the whole thing, too.
Yep.
Ryuko is stone cold.
Yeah, the stoic.
Yeah, she's stoic, angry a lot, and basically Mako's everything that's not that.
It's like the Kai-Miwa relationship, really.
It is really that.
If both of them were to the extreme.
No, Kai is to the actually he's more stoic than Ryuko could ever be. To be fair, he has a lot more reasons to be. At least no, in general. Like, even at the end of this series, he has a lot more reasons to be stoic.
Yeah.
Because at least
he hasn't gotten his happy ending.
he still does. Yeah, every single season of Vanguard is just one more reason why Kai has to be sad, because his life keeps progressively getting worse. But anyway, that's a different show now. Let's continue with episode 1. So they're in the courtyard doing their thing. Ryuko Satsuki is the person who's in charge here, and immediately challenges her to a fight.
Because we find out she's been doing this everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty serious business. I mean, she was like, what? 12 maybe? Well, maybe not quite that
No, not young.
but
Maybe 14.
yeah, and she just sort of watched her dad die right in front of her. It was bad.
Also, we find out she's actually pretty polite. She at one point has to retreat from a fight because she's losing. She steals a man's bike and then brings it back later with a sign saying, I am incredibly sorry, I had to borrow this.
Later, she says, try, like, immediately.
Yeah.
Like, because after she challenges her and tries to go up there and attack her, this boxing guy, who's the leader of the boxing club, stops her in her tracks and is like, if you want to get there, you gotta, prove yourself first in a fight. So they fight, and Ryuko gets her ass kicked so hard that she has to literally take an opportunity to run and steal this guy's delivery man's bike, and returns briefly to give him back his food that it was in the delivery compartment, and then goes off again.
So she's a good kid.
It was a silly little moment. She finds out that she's just way over her fucking head here because of these magical uniforms.
Even with her magic scissor blade, she can't do it alone.
Yep. So while she's in the wreckage, which Because this where now is her house, or former house.
Yeah, so we're gonna burn down or whatever.
Yeah. She falls down a hole.
That magically appears.
Not magically, but it's magically to her.
Yeah. Found out that it's actually her teacher who did it.
Finds out as in it was in the same scene.
Yes.
Stop saying finds out later. It happened literally.
Well, she found out
Well,
later
yeah,
he did it.
but we didn't.
We were just wondering why.
Yeah, we were just wondering why he did it.
She's
But
in the
anyway,
basement,
falls down there,
ends in a pile
and
of clothes.
finds a pile of clothes, and then gets assaulted
By
his shirt.
yeah, there's not much else to say. I think you'd freak out too if you were attacked by a talking shirt.
That is saying with incredible intensity, "Let me drink your blood! I don't want to fall asleep again!"
You're lucky there's no one else here, Em.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it was about as mind-blowing to us as it was to her at the time.
Yeah, because we didn't know that was even a thing
Well,
that could
she had a
happen.
Talking shirt.
But yeah, so it's actually bonds onto her, and then next scene, she goes back to challenge the place after Mako gets threatened to be, I guess, boiled or something, boiled and oiled,
in oil.
boiled in
Jesus.
oil,
Yeah,
and
she becomes
Her
the
biggest-
damsel in distress a lot.
Her biggest concern was that her shirt would become see-through.
yep, that was her biggest concern. So she really did not even care.
That and she didn't wear her good panties today. Because they hung her upside down.
Yeah, she was hung upside down so she could be dipped, and yeah, her panties being exposed were was her biggest concern. But before that happens, Ryuko comes back and knocks like everyone who's about to dunk her into the vat themselves. So they all become deep fried.
They're okay. They get out.
Rescue.
Oh yeah, they all jump out and in burning, but they are alive.
Is this where we pull out the tennis club captain?
That's
no,
episode.
that's
That's
next episode.
yeah.
Whatever.
So she's in a cloak though, so no one can really see what she's wearing. And then the cloak gets ripped off.
Yep, and there it is. The reason why people are so prudish that they can't stand and keep watching.
Tiny little skirt. You can see your butt really well. The bottom. It's a great underboob outfit with little straps to hold it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, garter belts and what have you too.
Everyone's questioning why.
Yeah, everyone even
Including
so
her.
And her
yeah.
opponent.
But you know what? She just rolls with it.
Or tries to anyway.
Yeah.
Emphasis on tries to.
I
She's
have
like,
a magical uniform too. Ah.
well, she says while blushing the whole time.
Yeah. She can't really handle it.
Too powerful.
And like we said, will come up later. Literally, the case. So they fight each other, the boxer and Ryuko. And this time she wins by basically pegging her blade into it's called decapitation mode and cutting his clothes off. And then all the threads from them, because if we forgot to mention this, because I know we did, the clothes are made of things called life fibers.
We totally did.
And
Well, it becomes more important later.
yeah, that's why it's kind of important to mention it. But yeah, this two-star uniform guy, so he has two fibers in him, which we find out later is what it means. Get absorbed into her dress, which later on she calls Senketsu.
Fresh blood, because he needed an edgy name.
Which is funny because he's like the least edgy character by the end of the show.
He is a ragamuffin vampire.
Ragamuffin.
He's the cutest. You don't even know, guys.
He is my favorite character next to Gamagori.
Okay, well, anyway. So yeah, it does that. Wants to go challenge Satsuki afterwards, but she's running out of
She
steam.
ran out of time.
Yeah, basically.
Because Senketsu informs her that, hey, you're almost out of blood. You're gonna faint in like 3 seconds.
Yep, so she has to take that time to run.
Take a break.
Go eat
You're
some
being
food.
very inefficient here.
Yep, which in a couple episodes is actually another important thing to bring up because, like I said, that's the first thread to fan service being the plot here. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So basically the episode ends with her being like, whoa, whoa.
That happened.
Yep. And
We're
that's,
gonna be pals now?
yeah, it's basically just be friends after that. And that's the end of episode 1, basically. And then we go on to episode...
Sasuke sentences her to the gauntlet. If you can beat everyone who comes after you,
Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened in that episode, wasn't it?
then I'll fight you again.
That was important.
Yep.
So, episode 2 begins. Ryuko is going back to school because, whatever. She's ready.
Go to school.
Em, hold this while I do the bathroom thing. And you guys continue talking.
Yes. So, yeah, she goes back to school because kind of transfer student, even though things. And next people to come after her is tennis.
Tennis.
Oh, shark teeth, you.
After they keep on bullying Mako with tennis balls.
Yeah, they kind of beat her face.
There's.
What?
Show the screenshot.
Yep. As you can see, bulleted face with tennis balls.
They are such bullies.
Apparently Mako was part of the tennis club. Because I remember I went back and watched it, and they said something like she didn't come to club practice. That, or I think just everyone was required to go to tennis at that time because they were going to go and try to beat Kobe's school.
I really don't remember, but it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
It's just a reason to get Ryuko to do something.
Yes. So, Shark Teeth. Everyone's favorite side character.
Apparently, I don't like her, but to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people liked her is what I mean. I saw a couple threads dedicated to her in the show's run. Even though she only appeared in like one episode and tiny parts of others.
What happened here? They ended up arranging a duel, right?
Tennis match!
Yeah, because they couldn't just duke it out. Okay. Even though the outfits are kind of designed to do that.
It had to be a tennis match. It was, Monkey Man said it had to be. It's the rules.
Rules.
Yeah, so they have a tennis match, and we find the problem is that, she hits the ball too hard.
Really, really hard. And, Ryuko's kind of having a tough time keeping up. Until she fashions her, scissors into a makeshift racket, right?
Yep.
That's what happened.
Yeah, she took a little bit of thread from Senketsu at the bottom of the dress, wrapped it around the handle of the scissor blade, and then held onto the scissor blade where it didn't have the blade part in order to use it as a racket.
And even that was kind of struggling. I forget precisely how that even ended.
In the end,
Except a very beaten and nude shark tooth girl
yes.
against the wall.
Yeah, she kind of hit the ball so hard it slammed her into the wall. So then,
Finally got to pull off her finisher and absorb that one.
so then Monkey Man's yelling at her like, "You broke the rules!" And she's like, "Yeah, are you really still going on with this?" And Sasuke's like, "Yeah, no, stop. I'm gonna come down from my giant staircase from the heavens and tell you no, this is okay."
I have returned.
Deal with it. Nerds.
What episode are we on?
We're finishing up episode 2.
Okie dokie. Oh, sorry about that, everybody.
We got through that episode fast because it really was just more.
It was filler, effectively.
Yeah. So then, episode 3, we get more plot because
More plot.
And more plot.
and also
And more ass.
and the explanation for the fan service in this episode.
It's true.
Very relevant. Evidently, the life fibers can only survive with the human host, well, some sort of host. But if they cover their host completely, That does bad things to the nervous system,
They
and
go on a
they'll
rampage.
die
Yep.
ultimately, and that doesn't work for anybody. So the goal here is to cover as little as possible, so you can still draw power from them without,
Dying. So yeah, it's
and
explained.
that goes both ways.
Yeah, so it's not only is it explained, it's a really good reason. Because I don't know if you know this, most people don't like dying.
That, we also see that Sasuke knew about what Senketsu was because she has one of her own.
Yeah.
It is her wedding dress.
They call these kamuis, by the way.
Yep.
Not
Kamuis.
our Kamui in Vanguard.
And some suburbs will call them god ropes too. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a cross between, divine and outfit, or whatever the hell.
so I mean, they're effectively the same idea, either way.
Yes.
It's a made-up word.
Sorry,
Trigger
Kamui.
does what they want.
Sorry, Kamui from Vanguard. Your name's made up.
But yeah, so she puts it on and it tries to kill her.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It was not happy with being chained up for so long.
Nope.
Gonna eat you. But then Sasuke basically just
Through sheer
full out.
force of will,
Literally puts her foot down.
tames the beast.
And she says clothing is meant to be worn. Explosions.
You're mine. And, well, yeah. Needless to say, she was kind of spooked at Ryuko's own powers, so she felt she needed a suitable answer.
Yep, just in case it progressed any further, so she got it.
Yep. And Senketsu somehow felt Junketsu coming alive because he got goosebumps.
Yes, he did.
Well,
So
you
they
know,
can sense each other.
They're made from the same shit.
Yeah, I can believe it.
They're both 100% life fiber. So yeah, they have a fight and Sasuke wipes the floor with Ryuko.
For
So
majority of the episode, just
badly.
throwing her around like a rag doll, as she's explaining how she does not care that she is exposed, like an exhibitionist with like almost nothing on, because it's giving her power, and that's the only thing that matters.
I want to do this. Shove it.
Yeah, she said there is no shame in having power and controlling it. So-
Exactly. It's like despite being at the time the most naked person in the show,
Doesn't even have a skirt.
She is the most powerful person in the show. Therefore, doesn't even care. Because what is anyone gonna do about it?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you can see my tits. What you gonna do?
Exactly. So
My
it's,
tits will wipe your floor with your ass.
And here they sort of expand a bit more on why Ryuko's having so much trouble, and she's just not accepting their partnership.
yeah, basically.
You have to have no shame to wear a kamui.
Yep.
That is a requirement.
It's true. If you
This is where her relationship with Senketsu starts progressing a bit more, and they become friends, rather than just...
partners in crime.
They start to buddy cop. So, Mako does one of the best speeches in the show,
Yep.
where she says that Riko needs to get naked. Get naked as hard and as fast as you can.
First, no one understands what the fuck she's getting at.
Besides, your tits are better than hers anyway.
But she does explain, though, that you don't need to have shame in doing this. It is to be powerful. It is to show yourself. It is your own strength combined with with your partner. It is you being out to the best of your abilities. That is what a kamui does. It brings out your best abilities.
And
So
after
realizing this, she
Satsuki's
does
like,
it.
no, I don't want to rematch you. Go fight him. Go fight her. This is where Tsunagayama comes in, right? Because... Wasn't this where Tsunagayama comes in? Because...
for his actual fight,
Wanna...
not for his actual fight anyway.
No, he doesn't come until, I believe, episode 5 or
But
so.
before that, you guys gotta remember, that's when Ryuko finally accepted Senketsu
Yes.
and got first time we see her fully realized form.
Giant eyes!
And so-
Transformation sequence!
Yep. And then they have a big fight first, where they're like, all their hits are like destroying everything, and as the picture I showed here is implying, people are flying everywhere.
They implode.
Craters.
They explode, implode, and explode again.
They're like, groups of people like expand, suck back in, and explode again. Like with all the power that's just flying around in this fight.
It is amazing.
And then it ends up with Ryuko just barely losing. But still wanting to fight, and that's when it's like, fight me another time when you get stronger or something like that.
Yep. So the gauntlet is thrown once again.
Here you really notice how much effort was put into the animation, even though it doesn't necessarily look that great.
Yeah, animation is definitely not like the top tier of animation that we can see, but you know what? You can see the heart that went into it, all the time they took to making sure the right scenes looked as good as they could be, given the really small budget they had.
If you know anything about this group of animators, for those who don't know, the people who work at Trigger used to work with Gainax, which is known for doing the style of animation.
But more to the point, they were mostly known for working with a specific show in Gainax.
Gurren Lagann.
Topatenga Gurren Lagann. Yes.
And Trigger, Kill la Kill being their first TV anime before they were doing mostly
Flash animations
on the web, i.e. Inferno Cop and Little Witch Academy or whatever it was called, which had their own niches too. If you want to check those out, go right ahead.
Yep. Spoilers, I don't like Inferno Cop that much.
There were so many Inferno Cop elements in this show, though.
Yeah, it looks like how it was done here better.
Yeah.
Actual segues rather than.
Yeah, really. But so that's how that one. Then episode 4, the what was it? The
On time episode.
Yeah, whatever this was specifically called. We know it as the on time episode, i.e.
Oh, right, that day of that day of the year where they.
You have to be on time or you're automatically expelled.
Except you have to go through
this big gauntlet of like guns
bullshit.
And bombs and spiraling.
Like they're literally trying to kill you on the way there.
A mom who is nursing her baby pulls out a rocket launcher to stop them.
Yeah, to try to shoot a missile at them.
You better get in an armored bus or you're screwed.
It's why a lot of people start early, like 3 in the morning early.
And then there was also the people who were in the little patch of grass that were just accepting their fate and pretending to be expelled already, just teaching each other.
Yeah, there's even a place where people can go to just give up.
And here we get the first real glimpse at how the society around here works.
It's true too.
You do well, you live a good life. Like they give you new facilities and.
Only the ones that work the hardest are given the good facilities.
Which I'm going to say this now, a lot better than the My Little Pony way of, if you're born better, you get better facilities. Isn't that right? Horses at the bottom, magical unicorns at the top. But I digress.
If you really look at it, My Little Pony's really racist.
It is extremely racist, but that's besides the point. But yeah, in this particular society, the better you do, the more rewards you get.
And Mako doesn't really give a shit because she has nothing to lose.
Yep.
She just doesn't want to be expelled.
Yeah, she just doesn't want to be expelled because that means getting kicked out of the city. Because if you're not doing anything at school, what are you going to do?
It's a pretty big struggle to get there. And you get some new character introductions.
Such as a character we thought was...
Yeah, the first character we thought was going to expand the cast.
Oh man, it's a friend. No, you got rused.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to guess.
I mean, it's easy to guess right away that she's not actually hurt. Because, this woman comes up with a broken arm. And Ryuko and Mako take pity on her. Mostly Mako, and Ryuko is saying, fine. And she's constantly, sabotaging their attempts all along the way.
Also, it should be noted that this whole episode, Ryuko does not have Senketsu. He is at home being washed and ironed.
Yes.
Apparently he loves this, and he didn't know it.
Yeah, at first he was like scared about being burned by the iron, but then it was like, oh, this is not so bad actually.
All of my fibers are being straightened.
It's very therapeutic for him.
Yeah, so if you ever wondered how clothes feel, there you go.
He didn't really like getting washed, though. He kind of was drowning.
Didn't like the washing part, but he loved the ironing. That was like so good for him.
He was having the sex.
So yeah, struggle to get to the school. I think they finally.
Well, they got there.
Oh, they got there just in the nick of time by cheating.
The first
Hopping
time.
on
The
first
first
class
time.
car or whatever.
The first time they took a bus to the place, and then
But
it turned
then
out it
they
was a
got
fake
sent back to the
because it
beginning.
sent it back to the beginning because it wasn't actually the academy. It was a cardboard cutout that the Maki, I believe her name was, set up to try to get the uniform from Ryuko,
Yeah.
and only to find out that, but even though she has no shame and they can put it on and therefore transform, because Senketsu doesn't like her, he would not let her move.
He even threw up all of her blood.
Yes, vomited it out onto the ground.
He was disgusted.
Oh, well, let's not forget Senketsu had to be delivered to them.
It was a sort of subplot that was happening.
First her dad tried and they flashed Ryuko's butt and he failed. Then the son tried and they flashed Ryuko's butt and he failed. Then the dog tried and they flashed Ryuko's butt and he failed.
But they were already there, so it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guts, he did a good job.
He's also apparently attracted to human women.
And dog women, as we find out later on.
Yeah. Guts is,
He's into any kind of woman.
he's not a picky man. Dog.
Well, I don't think he has room to be anyway. Looking like that.
Yeah, well,
He wears a hoodie. He is classy.
he is so classy. Dogs wearing hoodies, man. What can I tell you? But yeah, after it finds out that you can't do that, and Ryuko beats Maki up to get her uniform back, she presses a button that sends him all the way back down. As we almost assume for a second, jumps off and kills herself. And then no, she just parachutes down. And then mutters under her breath about how she was planning on using the uniform to overthrow Satsuki. And we'll have to find another way to do it. Gamagori, of course, was listening, and she was expelled right on the spot.
Probably threw her out on her ass. And then took his little scooter car up.
So they're at the bottom. It's like, oh, it's hopeless now. There's no way they'll get there in time. And except, wait, they have this rail car that could take them straight up there.
But we're not allowed to use it. Shut up.
So Ryuko just beats the guy up and says, let us go up there. He's like, okay, just don't hurt me again.
So they did it. They made it
Yeah,
to class
by
on.
crashing through the building right into the...
When their name was being called.
Yeah, and even though they were clearly there, he would not just let it at that. He just kept calling the name until they said here.
Oh, Mikasugi, you.
Sorry, Rico.
Ryuko.
Sorry, Ryuko. Sorry, Ryuko.
Here.
That was an ending.
Oh, it was a great ending for a actually pretty funny filler episode. Because that's probably the most filler of an episode this show has too.
Yeah.
Literally nothing really happens from it other than knowing that.
World building.
Yeah, other than that, well, even though that never actually happens again, the only other thing that really happens is we know that Senketsu chooses not to have anyone else as his partner now, other than Ryuko. Anyone else will be rejected.
We also kind of learned that Ryuko's only one who can hear him.
Yep, and that is actually important for much later. Actually, at the last episode, it's very important.
It's okay. We all think you're crazy that you talk to your clothes, but it's all right.
Well, enough of that episode. Time to go for one of the best entrances ever. Episode 6 of Mugu arrives.
Which one is it?
I'll give you 2 useful pieces of information, Em.
Oh! Let's continue.
Okay, so Ryuko comes up with this brilliant plan to form a club of her own because,
No, not yet. Not just yet. Not just yet.
It's
That's a couple episodes from now.
Think Mohawk.
The Mohawk guy.
Knew this
We start off at
Oh,
a
yeah.
guy with a sniper rifle, just
Yeah.
kind of peeking in at the academy. Then he's interrupted by this guy,
the gardening club.
who's the captain of the gardening club.
He's like, excuse me, you ruined all my flowers.
Oh, if I was, and he's like, doesn't even care.
Right.
And then he keeps like giving him crap, and he's like, let me give you 2 useful pieces of information, which is a thing he says. I don't remember what his information was.
I
but
remember what it was.
What? The first.
I smoke wherever I want, and then the gardening
second.
club interrupts him, and he goes,
The
and
second.
I hate being
Yes.
interrupted.
First, I smoke where I want. Second, I don't like being interrupted.
That's his thing, and it's a pretty interesting thing. Too bad his
It doesn't
character was
expand.
kind of
Going to the
relegated
side
butt
by the
monkey.
end, yeah.
He does not become important until much later.
I mean, he did have some important points, but when it came to the climax, he was very
He's
superfluous.
there to fucking murder life fibers. And
Yep.
He's a soldier.
He is
In fact, that is exactly what he's there for in this episode. He is there to
get rid of
get rid of
Senketsu
Senketsu before it becomes a problem.
He demands that Ryuko strip her clothing. Demands she take her clothes off right now.
And whenever she tries to fight back, he just pins her down with his literal pins.
All of his guns and weapons are sewing related, and it is amazing.
Yeah, literally anti-life fiber.
Yeah, he has needles that stop life fibers from working.
It's pretty great.
I also love that when he first shows up, he shoots the shit out of Mako, and Mako's just stuck on the ground like this.
Yep.
And Ruko's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And he's like, "I just pinned her down so that she wouldn't get in the way, and I could." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
She's okay.
She's okay. His actually wake up even better, feeling even better.
Yeah, she even thanked him for that. I remember.
Acupuncture.
Yep, acupuncture. He's just that good of a shot.
That was an endless struggle because he was chasing Ryuko around all fucking day.
Yeah, the whole episode was a fight, basically.
Actually, the only thing that calls him off is he gets a message from his boss.
Yep. His boss that we don't actually find the identity out of in the episode, in case you're wondering. We just know it's the nameless boss.
That, and we also know he's working with the teacher. The teacher is undercover.
Mm-hmm.
And man, is he fabulous when he's not.
Yep, his clothes just fall off.
That disheveled look is just a ruse.
Yep.
He has
It is
LED nipples.
every bit of Professor Sycamore you can get.
Yeah, LED nipples and
Let me explain to you how life fibers work.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
let me teach you a thing or two about your body. Of course, Rigo's freaking the hell out over this creepazoid.
Especially since at one point he paralyzes her, and the
With
towel
a-
she's wearing
yep.
starts to slowly slip off as his LED nipples glow brighter and brighter.
These two guys are like two of the best characters in the show for like
Character
most of the
dynamics.
series
He tries to tell her what he can
without
but
exposing everything because due to, not permission, he can't just straight out tell everything that's happening.
Yeah, can't jeopardize the mission.
we are nudist beach. Okay.
That and wait, this also brings up another thing. The fan service isn't just required to the women in this show.
No,
Oh,
no,
Everyone
not
gets
even.
naked.
No, I don't think you understand. Mikisugi is the most fan service in the show.
Men
He
are
strips.
He is subjugated of way more fan service than any woman in the show ever is.
He is also probably more naked than any character
He
in the
is.
show.
He is literally
Wants it.
naked half the time.
Like for the second season, he literally wears a gun over his crotch, and that is it.
Yeah, it's literally his clothing by the second half of the series.
DTR.
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 But yeah, so they go back into the school and they're fighting. Ryuka gets pinned in the bathroom, about to lose her Senketsu, And she's all like, I'm not gonna let you take it over unless you kill me first.
Well, that can be arranged.
And Senketsu jumps in the way to try and save her.
Yep, jumps in the way and tries to keep her from being killed. And he questions if
his own sanity.
His own sanity.
Wait, did I just see that?
And then he assumes that he was jumping off to flee.
Yeah.
Nope.
But Mako comes in and gives him quite the lecture.
Quite the lecture. So
you see, it's not just her only outfit, it's her best friend.
We all think she's crazy. My family watches her at night and sees her talking to her clothing. It's weird.
But that's who she is, and that's fine.
Ryuko meanwhile was like, wait, what? You think I'm crazy? Hey!
So yeah, it's pretty silly, but it drives the point home.
Or does Mikisugi do that for her? I guess that's what happened.
I guess so. But either way, he decides to leave right as Nonon shows up with her marching band trying to confront them. And he escapes with a smoke ball, I guess. But it turns out that Nonon's only purpose was to gather information about all of the things. Because if I forgot to mention it again, which I did, she actually starts a siege on both of them while they're fighting in the courtyard.
Oh yeah, loud noises.
Yeah, so it turns out she was this whole time just gathering data about Nudist Beach.
Because they're scurrying around and Sasuke doesn't like it. Or does she?
That's what we'll wait and find out.
So yeah, they're slowly introducing you to all of Sasuke's henchmen along the way.
And, yep, in fact, that is exactly what they're doing, because in the next episode, it's a Sanagayama episode.
So where Gamakore, this big honking guy.
He is the dragon.
His one consistent size, bigger than you.
Yep.
He's the living shield of the group. Nonon is I don't even know what Nonon is. She's the best friend, I guess.
Yep, she's the best
She's the
friend.
dark chick.
I
The
guess.
roles are Gamagori Dragon, Dark Knight, I forget the monkey's name.
Sanagayama.
Gamagori's the toad, by the way. He clearly say that
Yeah,
several times.
yes, Gamagori Toad. Monkey is the Dark Knight. Dog is Info Guy.
Yep.
He's the evil genius. And then the dark chick is Nanon.
No.
I can't say her name.
No.
There are 3 N's and 2 O's in it.
I can't words. Her name from now on for me shall be no.
It's kind of like that. Please stop talking.
Or keep talking, depending on what your interests are.
It's a very distinct voice, I tell you what.
Oh, I thought you were telling me.
But anyway, back to the episode.
So yeah, Yama, Shigari Yama, or whatever.
Sanagayama.
Says, I want to kick Ryuko's butt. And Sasuke's like, no. And he's like, please. And she's like, okay.
Arranges a formal duel.
Yep, but before that actually happens, Sasuke gets a phone call.
Oh, from Mother. She's kind of upset that her little girl put on her wedding dress. She wasn't supposed to do that. But fuck you, Sasuke does what she wants.
Stole it from their house.
Yeah, they just broke into the house and just took it.
And her butlers behind her the whole 9 yards.
Yep. The whole 9 yards, as you'll find out, but... Yeah, so it's like, that's important because it establishes someone who's kind of important in this series. Even
That
if it was
music.
briefly. Yeah, and it also has like one of the best soundtracks in the show.
Mama Kiryu and Ragyo. She runs the
Revox.
Reeboks, the biggest clothing chain in the world.
Yep, and by big we mean like almost a monopoly.
And by the end, it becomes a monopoly.
Slowly buying out everything so everyone on the planet can wear their clothes. For reasons of, well, we'll get there.
When we get there.
Literally, we only see her for about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
in this
it's
episode.
just to set up that she
all
exists.
we see is her mouth saying, "So I heard you put on your wedding dress." Zoom out.
Well, and we see that
German.
she is clearly important. But anyway, after that, yeah, a sword is left in front of Mako's house with invitation, with a writ of challenge on it, and
Yuka obviously accepts because if she can take down one of the Elite Four this early, it'll be a big jump.
Yep.
yeah,
And of course, it's not quite that easy. Because unlike the nobodies she'd fought thus far, he's sort of a cut above them.
yep. In case you're wondering what episode is,
And
this
he has
is
the
a
crazy
spoiler.
eyes.
The eyes that can see everything.
Yep. And that's when Ryuko watches she's getting her ass kicked, realizes something. If his eyes are his, big thing that makes him have all these powers and abilities,
Let's cover it.
what if I just cover them?
So she cuts off part of Sengetsu, and it.
Covers his eyes, he can't see.
Risky maneuver, but that's what they do.
He covers his eyes, he can't see, he doesn't know where to strike, he gets beaten. Right at the spot, like about 10 minutes in.
Don't worry, Sengetsu's fine. He can just
He
keep it
was
together.
humble right away.
Oh, extremely humbled too, because he basically lost everything right then and there.
Yeah,
Because he was,
He was gonna throw him out.
yep, but he wasn't done yet.
She decided to give him a second chance after he revealed
A secret that, not just yet, but he revealed that he did something to his face.
He asked Iori for some help.
Yep.
Iori being the sewing club captain who
So
makes all
these
these
uniforms to begin with.
Another one of my favorite side characters. I like Iori.
So he re-challenges Ryuko and transforms immediately to fight.
Goes in expecting the same thing.
Ryuko goes in and expects to go the same thing, so just seals up his eyes again. And when she goes to try to beat him, gets
Fucking schooled.
schooled immediately. And she's like, how did it happen? I seal all your eye spots. And then it's revealed, Sasuke reveals it actually, that he decided to seal his own eyes shut. He sewed his eyes shut.
He depended on them too much. He lost because of them. Fuck him.
Yep, so he basically locked his eyesight and gained a new ability from it. Basically sixth sense. He can now detect everything that happens in the world.
He can see without seeing. Heighten all those other senses that were lacking because
He relied so much on his eyes. And
It
needless to
was-
say,
it was a bloodbath.
it was. It's like, from that
Ryuko
point
could
on,
not do anything.
a
The
single
only
thing.
thing that stopped him is that he was so intense. He ripped.
It's,
his
yeah,
coat.
so he was doing so much, and
It overheated.
he overheated his own suit, and it gave Ryuko a chance to run because at this point she was so bloodily battered, she couldn't even continue the fight even if she wanted
She
to.
almost lost her freaking scissor.
Yep, almost lost her scissor. Probably almost lost her life at that point.
Everyone was gonna die.
Well, she was humbled right back, needless to say.
Yeah, it's like she was just in in an alleyway, like gasping, trying to not fall unconscious.
So
And at the end, we see that his suit got a upgrade, so it wouldn't burn out so fast.
also, earlier in the episode, Sasuke had made a deal that if he beat Ryuko, she'd have tea with him.
Oh yeah, poetic stuff there. Because at the end, he is given this opportunity because that invitation was before his eyes got sewn shut.
You succeeded. Let's do it.
Let's have a tea, and it's like, I thought I have to pass on the invitation. My senses are so heightened that I can't drink tea anymore.
It's too hot for my tongue.
And he just walks off.
Oh, and the whole, you think you can sneak up on me
Yeah.
bit? No.
Nope,
just
not
here to
even.
talk.
He's just right in front of his face. It's like, geez, the most intense thing. Like,
This was probably one of the best episodes in the show.
it was definitely one of the best character moments for a character that we didn't even know that much about at the time.
You learned a lot about him. We also learned his past with Saskia of how he used to be a gang leader and she beat the shit out of him.
And decided to attend her academy in the making. Because why not?
Yep, so that brings episode 7 to a close, and now we go to episode 8, i.e., let's make some Fight Club.
Fight Club! First rule about Fight Club, talk about it.
Yes, talk about it.
Yeah. Ryuko has this harebrained idea that maybe this will help get her closer to Satsuki faster.
Especially since, first thing that happens is they get attacked by 2 clubs that are kind of really weird, like,
Wasn't it 3? Like they were all
Yeah,
one club
one-
before,
I
and then they
remember-
split up because they were...
Because they were given the opportunity, if they could beat Ryuko, they would get their own 2 or 3 star uniform.
yeah, so basically, if you become a club president, you automatically, your standard of living goes up.
Yeah, just by being a president, you get a new living. If your star rating goes up to 1, you get even more. If your star rating goes up to 2, you get really good stuff. And if you get 3, you're basically royalty.
Yeah.
So obviously they're aiming to get that 3-star uniform.
Her very presence warped the foundation of this place already.
Yeah, so, Ryuko says, let's make Fight Club, and Mako shall be president!
Yeah, because
Because I don't want to put up with this
all
paperwork.
this paperwork.
guys.
So
But,
it
you know,
happens.
surprisingly, Mako put up with it.
Put up with it. And I mean, like, champion through it. Like, even in points where she breaks it down crying because of all the work that goes into it, she just slaps herself back into work.
Because she wants to put the twinkle in everyone's eyes.
Yep, she's doing it to make everyone in her family happy because earlier in the episode they were talking about how big a happy family they are. And she thinks by getting them better living arrangements, it can make them even happier.
Yeah, they go to when they first start the club, they automatically are made 1 stars.
Yeah, they go from the slums to, an actual house.
Yeah,
Pretty
And
big
as they
difference.
keep beating
I remember
people, they go up even higher.
one of the things they said was like they had air conditioning, they had a washing machine, they had
Yeah, bath indoors.
Yeah, they had a bathroom indoors. I remember
They
like,
had croquettes that weren't made of mystery meat.
Every room.
In every room, specifically.
Yeah.
They had croquettes that weren't made of mystery meat.
Yeah, I love the picture of the cow and the pig shaking hands.
Like, yeah, it was good at first, but as it went on and as they kept on getting basically more greedy, they're
They're getting more and more absorbed in just gotta do this.
You
kept
said
getting
Mako
left
was-
alone again, like she was before the series started.
Yeah, she explains that she likes living with Mako's family because she never had the family experience. Her mom died and her dad sent her away to boarding school at a young age. She was always alone.
The family dinners were great, and then once they all
Got to the 2-star
live
level, they
luxury, they weren't together anymore. They were all doing their own shit.
Buying out candy stores, hanging around hookers, buying expensive jewelry and drinks.
even Guts was buying stuff and bitches, literally.
Literal bitches.
And you could tell they weren't feeling so hot about it either. They were just fucking bored out of their skulls, man.
French cuisine again.
Okay.
So needless to say, it was she wasn't feeling happy about it, so she decided the next day to quit the club.
But on
What?
that same
You
day,
can't do that.
But on that same day, Sasuke.
Not like the very same minute,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasuke throws down a uniform down to Mako, and says to her, "If you can beat Ryuko, we'll give you a 3-star uniform."
You can keep doing what you're doing.
Make your family even happier.
And Ryuko's like, "There's no way she would do something like that," and then she immediately puts on the uniform,
Shazang.
which leads
Yeah.
to one of the most popular outfits in the show,
One that I will actually be cosplaying at ASEN this year.
or at least attempted to, known as Bancho Mako. Wearing a disciplinary uniform. For those of you who are new fags to JoJo, it's not a JoJo uniform. It's a disciplinary uniform.
With her own embrazen brass knuckles.
Yep, Mako on a star.
It looks so good. And so, well, they start fighting. Fighting Ryuko doesn't really fight back.
At least not trying to, because, you know, only defending herself. Meanwhile,
Hurt
Mako's
her
going,
friend.
yeah. Meanwhile, Mako's hitting her, trying to hit her with bats with nails in them.
Throwing multiple weapons at her, and then her family shows up, and
And
Ryuko's
she's
like,
like,
hey, you can talk some sense into her.
Mako's gone crazy, because he was told that if she beats me, we will get a bigger house. And they immediately go into the stands and start cheering Mako on to beat her.
People are insane! Yeah, that's everyone's reaction to that situation.
Yeah. It was definitely not what anyone was expecting.
It was just sort of wrenching the longer it went on.
Especially when she decided that she knew what she had to do, and she just deactivated Senketsu and just started taking the punches for like probably hours.
Yeah, it lasted till sunset.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, so she just started taking punches and hits and kicks.
And eventually Mako just breaks.
Why aren't you guys stopping me?
I don't want to do this. But I want to make you happy. What do?
It's, Ryuko says that the whole time she knew Mako was pulling her punches.
Because when Mako hit the ground in frustration, she basically blew up the stadium.
It made a crater.
It literally blew up.
This room.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Made crater in this room and blew up the bleachers. Like everything, even the Elite Four was flying. Like they're sitting, but they were flying.
So yeah, they disband the Fight Club and they go back to the slums.
Yep. Yep. So basically says, as you see, humans aren't pigs. Will just do anything for power. They're better than that.
Because that was what Sasuke was trying to prove the whole time.
And then Mako takes her uniform off, and throws it into the air, and Ryuko destroys it and takes the fibers. And they go back to living in the slums. Poor but happy again. Great testament to, even if you don't have, you know, all the riches in the world, you can still have happiness. I'm not talking to you specifically, but you know who I'm referring to.
You know.
Yes.
So yeah, but I think this is also like this is like a 2 good episodes in a row thing. In fact.
The show just got better and better.
Well, yeah, it just keeps on.
It started just ramping here.
Like, it started off good and it just got better.
I think for this one we should probably switch over to another video, because at 1 hour and 7 minutes and only 7 episodes in.
Well, it's okay. The second half takes off, basically.
It starts off
after
the
here.
yeah, basically. So
Starting with...
tune in to the next video.
Part 2.
Yes, next video, everybody.